There's over 27-foot elevation that drops from the back of her house all the way down to the bottom. You guys want to see something impressive? Come check this out. So this is what I'm talking about. Check out these basalt columns. I'm just kidding. This is just the start of it. This is over a 120-foot long stream, and the place you gotta see it from is down there.
We are out visiting our teammates' water features. When Tim started working for us 3 years ago, he didn't have his own house, so he put one at his girlfriend's parents' house. Like I said, future son-in-law here. That's a good son-in-law. It is a rainy day in Elgin, Illinois. I'm with Brian Helfrich, my top lieutenant in the construction department. This is the largest, I would say the highest pondless waterfall that we have ever created in someone's backyard in Illinois anyway.
Yeah, there's over 27-foot elevation that drops from the back of her house all the way down to the bottom. You guys want to see something impressive? Come check this out. So this is what I'm talking about. Check out these basalt columns. No, I'm just kidding. This is just the start of it. This is over a 120-foot long stream, and the place you gotta see it from is down there.
You should see the view from down here! This is Illinois.
Yeah, there's not too much corn around this area. Look at the surrounding property. I mean, this is such a unique backyard.
Yeah, that's normal height.
Look at how flat it is there. You can see the hill goes back up here. They literally have this little small depression where it drops 27 feet.
Okay, so 27 feet in Illinois is a mountain.
So what was interesting about this, it was actually a rehab. They called this out
Yes.
because it was leaking. And when I got here,
So somebody else had built a water feature.
Somebody else had built the water feature, and it looked like a luge. It was a rock slide, basically. Imagine what it looks like, 27-foot elevation, and that ring of pearls coming, and I mean, it was as straight as could be. There was no way when they turned it on, any rock would ever stay. They didn't cut in any shelves or anything. So all the gravel would just constantly end up at the bottom, Chipmunks had gotten in and devoured the whole thing. Erosion had happened and everything else, and so I said to him, listen, you have an opportunity that I've never seen before, right? To carve in a waterfall like this. And so it's easy to visualize it, but obviously, like, we might have gotten in a little over our head because the logistics of it was a nightmare.
Because of the machines that you needed. And then I remember they had wooden retaining walls. They had beams in here, but they were rotting and they were falling apart. So we ended up not just build the waterfalls, but replace all the beams with stonework.
Yep, we had to come in and rebuild everything. So once you dove into it, you were like, oh my gosh. And then we needed more stone, and we needed more stone, and I think we went through 75 tons of stone on this thing right here.
Wow.
But all things happen for a reason, and then this is what we finished off with.
Yeah, it's just a spectacular property. I mean, as artists, when you have a slope to work with, it's a palette. And so to take advantage of it like this, and then unfortunately this faces away from the house, but then you created this area down here, a little fire pit area that they can actually sit around and enjoy basically a mountain stream facing them and hearing that sound all the time.
I remember telling him when we were finishing this thing, the fire pit's nice, but I would literally build another house down here.
Right.
Like,
because you want to be here all the time.
See that all the time would just be amazing.
I feel like I'm in like Costa Rica or something,
right?
Especially with the elephant ears
and that's her, right? And so it's how each individual makes it their own, right?
Yes.
I love how she's taken these ceramic pots and just kind of dropped them in there. She's got some little knick-knack things here and there, but it's tastefully done. It just looks great. And look at how the moss is just like consuming some of these rocks.
Yes, this was definitely a Herculean feat to build this on this slope with our equipment, but the guys did absolutely spectacular work.
So Greg, obviously with building this thing, we talked a little bit about the logistics. Like, getting the machine down here was really difficult. We couldn't even come in through here because it was always too wet.
Wow,
down in here.
It's so low.
They had this one little pathway put in, right, so lawnmowers could get down here. It was just wide enough for our machine to sit in here. Another 6 inches this way or 6 inches this way, our machine would not have fit.
Right.
So we had to drive down through here, tear all of this apart to get in there and dig that reservoir. So we have a 2,000 gallon tank down at the bottom there.
Yes.
And then we were able to drive on here. And here's where it got really, really tricky. So this bridge was actually existing.
Okay.
Right? That was always here. We had to take this apart. Now imagine a mini excavator with the rubber tracks coming down this slope.
Wow.
Right? So we started on the bottom and we had to go down there, but every single rock, you had to crawl back up the hill. A dingo would bring us the rock to here, and then you'd slowly go back down. There was no place to put any of the stone.
Right.
So all the stone had to come back one at a time. So I remember constantly running all the way back to the front yard, tagging a stone, bringing it back over here. Then the guy in the machine would grab it, and then you'd have to carefully go down, because if you swing this way on a slope, you tip.
Yeah.
Right? So it was really a Herculean effort by the entire team, like you said.
Wow.
This was the section you were talking about with the retaining walls. So there used to be a timber retaining wall that sat in through here.
Yeah.
We originally stopped the water feature right here.
Yeah.
As we got into here, we said, you know, this entire retaining wall is rotted.
Right.
Right? It was all crumbling apart. We said, we have the opportunity right now, if you want us to, we can take that out, reinforce it with big natural boulders that'll obviously last forever.
Yes.
But if we're going to do that, we might as well take the water feature all the way up to the top, which is why we ended up putting the basalt columns up there.
Yeah.
So they get something visible from that
from that patio in the back.
Can you imagine, like, when people come here, what they must see? They're greeted by little basalt columns.
Yes.
And then they're like, where's that go? And then you come down here
And it's just spectacular.
what? Look at how awesome that is. Like the impatiens going right out of the rock. That's just all the example. And they've got different butterfly bushes and stuff just growing right out of things.
You got to go look at it from up there.
Look at all the ferns growing out of that rock.
This area right here, it literally looks like Costa Rica. So Brian, what's amazing to me is we're up here, you know, on the top balcony, you know, overlooking this, but I can still hear it.
And it's actually quite unusual, because usually when you're on the back side of a waterfall, it's pretty silent. But because this one drops so dramatically, that water's just crashing and crashing. And so it's a constant bunch of 2 foot, 3 foot falls.
Right.
What I love about it though is, like any water feature, that sound pulls you from this space. There's not a person in the world that's going to come in this backyard and curiosity alone is not going to kill them.
Right.
I mean, they
They're
have
gonna go
to
down
go
there.
discover there.
Yeah.
And then you saw what it looked like when you got down there. I mean, it's incredible.
Yes.
You can also see why I'd want to put a house down there.
Yeah,
right?
Of course. Now, this is such a complicated project, and this is what people don't understand. Because of the access, I mean, that adds a complexity. How do you go about estimating as a designer something like this?
Well, obviously off of this, you go off of past experiences a little bit. But I also learned a lot from this, to be honest. And
We're always learning.
I shouldn't have shared this with you, but I messed it up, right?
No one will know. No one will hear this.
Okay. I messed it up, and what I didn't think about was the access enough. I knew it logistically would be hard getting up and down that hill.
Yep.
The one thing I forgot was, where am I going to stage all of this rock? Like, there's a 6 foot wide strip. If I put too much rock here, how would I get back and forth and be able to choose? So you literally had to go tag a rock out front, have that rock brought to you to about where that bridge is sitting at, then crawl the machine back up the hillside, grab it, and then crawl back down. It's about a 20-minute process per rock.
Right.
And so when you're doing that over and over and over, you're talking 3 rocks an hour,
right,
which really slow things down.
We aren't used to working on this kind of slope in Illinois.
Well, thanks.
We don't get at this every day, but man, what an incredible, incredible feature out here. It's the advantage and the disadvantage of living in Illinois. This is the second flattest state to Florida. But like I said, when we have a slope like this, it's like a palette for an artist. Great job, Brian.
Hey, man. Thanks.
Hey, if you like learning about this stuff, you like seeing this stuff, inspire more people to live the aquascape lifestyle, like, comment, subscribe, and share this vlog so more people could see unique water features just like this all over that we do. I love my job. It is a beautiful day in Wooddale, Illinois. I am with Aveline Hauser, our marketing director at Aquascape.
Good morning.
We didn't coordinate this, but we actually have the same shirts on.
We do.
And we are out visiting our teammates' water features. This is actually Tim Heisler. He's been with me for 3 years. Good kid. This is his future in-laws house. And you have yet to get an Aquascape water feature, so we're gonna get you as the guest vlogger today, inspiring you to live the Aquascape lifestyle. Let's check out this water feature. After you.
Thank you. I'll listen to the sound.
It's even got the naughty dog.
It does.
So this is actually really cool. This is a townhome.
Yes.
Look at this whole yard. So this is what I love about my channel, is it showcases how people live the aquascape lifestyle. Look at this awesome little setup they have back here with the signature feature being the pond. Look at that beautiful water quality, those fish. So this is a micro pond kit. This is probably a 6 foot by 8 foot aquascape micro pond kit. When Tim started working for us 3 years ago, he didn't have his own house, so he put one at his girlfriend's parents' house. Like I said, future son-in-law here. That's a good son-in-law, building something like this. So you can barely even see this skimmer. This is the mechanical filtration. You can see he's got the little basket in here. He's got the filter pad to help get rid of the debris. Look at how well hidden this is. Okay, I don't think he'd mind. Why not?
Greg Wittstock stealing another person's bike.
Not stealing, I'm just borrowing. Woohoo! I like it. I love my job. So my favorite thing, Aveline, about this water feature is that's a 10-inch high waterfalls. And normally when I see waterfalls in even a small backyard, they try to make it high. But that is not even a foot high, that waterfalls, yet it's perfectly in scale to the rest of the property. And also I love about this, I don't know if I'm allowed to say two things I love, but I love the fact that you don't really know where the water ends and the land begins. This creeping Jenny that the fish have been eating out, the food that we fed them out of, really softens the border up here. You've got water hyacinths, you've got cattails, you've got papyrus, you've got iris, you've got arrowhead, you've got floating water hyacinth. I mean, there's got to be 6 or 7 different aquatic plants, and it softens up the border. So really the only stones I see are in about a 2-foot area. The rest is just softened up, and then the moss growing on everything. So my favorite thing about this is how they put it to scale with the property, and you don't know where the water ends and the land begins, even on a 6 foot by 8 foot micro pond kit. What about you?
Oh, there's lots of things I love about it. But if I were to pick one, it would really just be the fish. I mean, it's amazing that we have, a half dozen to almost 10 fish.
There's some big
in
fish
this
in here.
very small space. And they're active. They love their environment. They're eating, they're interacting with us. And it's just so nice to have finned friends right here at your patio. It's so neat. I love that.
And look at the water quality, because they've got aeration, they've got biological filtration, they've got a skimmer filter, and then I just saw over here they have an automatic doser, so that adds a water treatment. So they've got 1,000 gallons they got it set right now. If you don't have a pond that's this clean, it's because the ecosystem isn't established. And how you establish an ecosystem is you add bacteria, you have the proper biological filtration, the pump, the plumbing, the mechanical filtration, the aeration. Everything is in balance in this water feature. This is why you get this kind of water quality with this. Teeny yard, but yet it's making a big impact. Just listen to that sound. So when there's not an airplane flying over, this is what you hear, and they've created this entire backyard lifestyle all around this. Hey, if you guys like what you see, like, comment, and subscribe, and follow along as we journey and show people living the aquascape lifestyle. I love my job.